everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're back doing another Dominaria Intermediate Swiss Draft League. And what do we have? Song of Freyalise. I finally am going to get to take this card, hopefully get to play it if green pans out, but this card has really impressed me. Really, really strong card. Permanently, allowing you to ramp into the rest of your creatures. And then the fact that it's Vigilance, Trample, Indestructible is such a good ability combination on top of a permanent buff. This card is just extremely strong. Really, really strong card. So I like it. Gonna first pick it. I wish these legendary sorcerer or legendary spells or whatever, non-creature ones I guess, were a little more playable. They're tough, even in a legendary format. They're a tough card to play. Tough little cookie. It's almost like you should have to have a historic card or something instead of a legend. I don't know. It seems a little bit too difficult to get going. What does this one do again? I forget. Oh yeah, this card's actually kind of cool. I like that one. Let's see if we've got anything in green that's worth our time, or just the best card in general. I think the best card is actually this Eldest Reborn. I've played it once. It's pretty good. I like it. I like Academy Drake a lot too. I think that card's good, but I think this is still the best card. This is cool. You get a good amount of effects for 5 mana, and it's historic, so maybe we can even play a historic deck of some sort here. I do think Memorial to Folly is good. It's probably too early to take that. Another Academy Drake. Oh wait, is this the same Academy Drake? Maybe I'm losing my mind. We're going to take the Eldest Reborn, though. There's Grun, Candle, Journey Mage. Lightning has got to be the best card, though. I feel like I never get to see this card either. This card is just very good. So, best card, Lightning. Probably closely followed by the Journey Mage. And that's that. So we'll take the Lightning. I think in this format, it is just fine to just go ahead and, take the best card for a while and figure out what your best path is. Like here, I can take a Journey Mage and be happy. I think it is far and away the best card remaining in here. I actually like Whisper quite a bit, but I still think Journey Mage is the best card here. So I'm going to take the best card. Just take for days. So Wild Onslaught in here, which is actually debatably more powerful. Wild Onslaught is very strong, but Journey Mage is very good too. I would argue Onslaught is probably stronger than Journey Mage, but getting past back-to-back-to-back Journey Mage might be a sign. Then again, getting a 5th pick Onslaught might be a sign. Really can't stress enough that this card is very, very good. I think we're going to go Onslaught over Journey Mage, actually. I really, really do think this card is very good. One of the better ones. Here, so we can take the Drake. Maybe green-blue. I think Drake is the best card here. By quite a bit. Otherwise, Memorial to Unity. Just because it's a free card for your deck. But I like the Drake, so I'm going to take it. So here, the best card is Chronicler. I've been impressed with this card. There's an Adventurous Impulse, which doesn't really excite me that much. But Chronicler's good. We'll take it. Spider is quite good. There's a Candle in here, which is removal. I may like the Candle more than the Spider. Spider is good, though. But I've been impressed with the Candle. It's pretty solid removal, and it's historic, which is absolutely relevant. And it's colorless, which is kind of nice too. I'm going to take the removal that's colorless. So there's a Fungal Infection here. We have a Compass, a Druid. This is deceptively good, not because of the kicker ability, but because I think 2/3s are actually good in this format. And then that's a really, Fungal Infection is the best card remaining here by a lot. So I probably just take this. Seeing that wheel is a good sign. We can take the armament here. I think it's actually a fine combat trick and best card remaining here, I would say. So yeah, we're kind of all over the place. I think that's perfectly fine. We're we're just in the process of picking up the strongest cards at the moment. We probably don't need to dip into white. We've got 4 colors to choose from, so we can take a worm and be okay with that. That was a late Adamant Will, though, too. It just seems like a lot of good cards going late, basically. But we're off to a good start, I feel. We've got, like, these 4 colors we can totally decide what we want to do. No problem. I could take the Envoy. I don't... 2 threes are just, I think, leagues better than 3 twos in this format, but we may want to... This isn't even a reliable card to splash with, really, but I guess maybe splash a Wizard's Lightning. Just seems unlikely I would want a Scholar, so that's okay. Slyn Voda. Yeah, I don't really like this card all that much. Seismic Shift isn't really that good either, but we'll take it maybe if I need a sideboard card. I don't know. Getting the second to last pick playable 2-drop is kind of nice. So it does seem like we can make the green work, which is probably for the best anyway, because I think Wild Onslaught and Song of Frail Leaves are probably our 2 strongest cards. Get another one? I say yes. We'll take that over the Surveyor, over the Shiva on Fire, over the Vicious Offering. We're taking it over removal because I basically do think this card is just really, really good. So now I'm pretty tempted to go. We're definitely going down a green path. This much is clear. But now we're rewarded for getting token-based cards. So we've got to figure that out. I actually think Tatyova would be excellent for our deck too, just because it's a great card. But we'll take the Song of Freyalise, happily enough. Getting 2 of those is pretty sweet. Okay, well, we could do the Fire Fletcher, but we don't have a ton of kicked cards, do we? No, we basically just have the Onslaught. Let's see what else is in here. The Surveyor probably is just the pick. Good card for finding more lands. On top of that, it works well with Song of Freyalise and Wild Onslaught, and it's historic. That might just be the pick. There's a Baloth Gorger as well. And there's Call the Cavalry, which works the best with our... Works really well with our Song of Freyalise, since you can attack and still use it to pump, and then you get to pump on top of that. I like that a lot, but like I said, it's probably too late to dip into white. That might not be true. And Gorger is very good too, but I'm going to take the Surveyor. I think the card is great, and like I said, it's particularly good in our deck. A utility creature that can get bigger with our pumps. So here we can take the Gorger. Seems fine, actually. Any kicker card is going to be good with our Song of Freyalise, just because you can get to that kicker cost pretty easily, I think. So, Gorger seems fine here. So, obviously Llanowar Elves now just could, really, I don't think could ask for a better card at this point for our deck than Llanowar Elves, since it just does absolutely everything we want to do. It ramps, which is always good, and then on top of that, it gets pumped by all of our pump spells that it also ramps into. So, really, really good. We'll take it. And what else is in here? Not that it really matters, but just to gauge, I guess it doesn't matter. Gift of Growth, maybe. Certainly would be playable for us. Another one? What a gift. Yeah, we're getting there now. So, just, I mean, at this point, this deck could easily play 10 Elves and probably do really well, actually. So, we'll take the Elves for days. So now we can take the Druid. I'm fine. Actually, Spore Swarm, that's interesting, actually. Spore Swarm might actually be better for us now. Double Song of Freyalise plus Onslaught, we probably want to Swarm. I think Elfame Druid is very good for us too, though. We do have Kicker, but Spore Swarm does actually make more sense, so we're going to take that. Here. There's Grow from the Ashes, which fixes and ramps, but it's not exactly what we want. I might be okay taking a Construct. We have all the pump, so it serves as like another ramp. It's historic, which doesn't matter, but there are cards that like playing historic. Or we could take the Lance. Lance might be okay too. The thing about Lance in this deck is we've already got the pumps. Now we're just looking for the creatures. Like, to me, I don't like mixing my equipment with my other spells that pump. To me, that doesn't make a ton of sense. I don't really like Construct either, though, so much, but I think we'll take it. There's a chance it happens. Jeez, that's a late Llanowar Elves. We're taking it over the Animus, too. Even though our deck basically doesn't have any fight spells. We have a combat trick. That's a late Journey Mage, too. We're taking the Llanowar Elves, obviously. So we can take the Worm. We might even end up mono green, which is kind of crazy. Take the Wanderer here is probably fine. I don't really like Protector that much. So Short Sword, like I said, still don't really... I don't think Llanowar Scout's particularly good, but I do think 3 toughness is actually pretty good, so we'll take it. So we can take Divination here. I like Divination in a deck with Llanowar Elves a lot. Guess we can take the Assistant. It flies, it's good with Pump, it's good with the Song of Freyalise. It's probably more exciting than a Homerid Explorer. So it could be blue. Blue could be a second color we can do. Venturous Impulse, possibly playable. Alright. Admittedly, our deck could probably go for some removal. I mean, I guess we have a Candle and some... A Wild Onslaught is at the very least a combat trick. An Arbor Armament certainly is too. And if we play blue, I guess Journey Mage is kind of removal. Tempo at least. Another Llanowar Elf. But maybe we just take the Shalai and be happy that we have it. And just accept that we are... I mean, this is cool with our pump too. This pack just has really good choices in it. There's another Llanowar Elf. We don't have any white, rather. But the thing is, you can easily splash Shalai off a Surveyor, and we could still end up some other weird color. Especially since we're primarily green. Shalai is just so sweet. Such an awesome card. I'm going to take it over Llanowar Elves. And I really wanted to play Slimefoot for a while, too. We do only have Spore Swarm and I think Fungal Infection in terms of... But this card is bomb. Shalai is just great. Easily takes games over, pumps itself. We're taking it. Verdant Force. Verdant Force is hilariously awesome for our deck. Spits tokens out not just your turn, but every turn. Huge on its own, and we have the ramp capability to get to it. I think we take it. Otherwise, it'd be an Ancient Animus. We don't actually have great bodies for it. We have some. Sapherd would be very good for this deck, too. Very, very good for this deck as well, yeah. But I'm going to take the Verdant Force, and at this point, we'll probably set all this in the side. We'll see if we're any of these colors, or if we're just green splashing a white card, which I guess I'm probably fine with. But Verdant Force is just awesome. Really fun to be able to play that. So we can take Slimefoot. It's a great card. But Call the Cavalry, I think, is at this point is probably just makes sense. More tokens. Let's stick to this white theme. Or the splash white theme at the very least. Slimefoot is very good. I'm going to take Call the Cavalry, though. No green, oddly enough. There's some decent black. Do we have enchantments for Tragic Poet? The Song of Freyalise? Yeah, that's that's a pretty good one. All right. And it's just another small body. I'm fine with that. Charge kind of doesn't really, I mean, in one hand it kind of makes sense, on the other, probably don't need it. I don't think the Thran Temporal Gateway is something that's worth anything likely, right? I doubt it. 2 cents. All right, another fungal infection. I mean, fungal infection is admittedly really cool for our deck, but I don't really need to grow from the ashes because I don't think it's going to make the deck. We could take a Thorn Elemental. It's kind of cool that it can just attack in and deal. It just deals damage to your opponent, and significant damage too. Like, that's huge damage to deal to your opponent. Maybe we'll take it. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll consider it. So Honor Guard, but we don't really have Legends, so it's just a 2-drop, which I don't think is that exciting. Don't really need the Impulse. I guess we'll take an Envoy now. I'd like to upgrade both of them if I could. Could just take another Tragic Poet or another Thorn Elemental. I think we're probably good on 7 and 8 drops for the most part. With the Song of Freyalise, though, it's probably fine. The Poet, do we have any other, besides the 2 Song of Freyalise, do we have any other enchantments? It doesn't look like it. I don't think the Impulse is going to happen, by the way. And like I said, I'd prefer to not play the Envoys. I think we'll take a Poet. I'm just thinking about it. Thinking about what I can do with it. 3 is probably a bit much, but Ooze is pretty unexciting anyway. I'll just take a Poet. It's pretty cool with Song of Freyalise. This is an odd deck. But I mean, we've got a lot of cool things going for it. Got a Druid back, which we're easily taking. Just phenomenally good for us. That's the latest Journey Mage I think I've ever seen. I don't think we need another Primordial Worm. I think we're good on 6, 7, 8 drops probably, so I'm just going to hate this. And I know what you're thinking. Don't hate cards. Why are you hating cards in in League? It's unnecessary. You might be right. I'm going to take the second armament here, just because I really don't think Ooze is all that good, and we may want some more combat tricks, but we basically don't have any removal, which certainly is an issue against some bombs. But, I mean, I guess we have the Candle. But that's about it, which is not that much. But this deck is sweet. I don't think we're going to play the Sparring Construct. We can get off that plan. We'll figure this out. We have plenty of creatures that we can cut. Plenty of creatures. We're going to keep all of our ramp, though. This is a very, very odd deck. So, weakest creatures. Envoy, for the most part, is pretty weak. Construct. We can cut at least 1 Poet. So we can cut these 3 right off the bat. And probably the Scout, too. I guess I could do Ooze instead. Ooze is just such a whatever creature. I haven't found its ability. It's, honestly, I'd be fine sideboarding Corrosive Ooze if I have to. If my opponent has the Helm of the Host or whatever, I'll bring Ooze right in. But I guess I'd rather have the 3 toughness guy that gets bigger later. And then we still have 16, 17 creatures with Call the Cavalry and Spore Swarm. And we've just got all the fatties. The Poets to get back our Song of Freyalise. Some combat tricks. And a Blood Tallow Candle. Quite the deck. Yeah, this is an oddball one, definitely. It's cool, though. It is cool. Yeah, I guess this is what we do. Double Song of Freyalise, Wild Onslaught, Shalai. So all the pumps, little dudes, little rampers, and then some fatties on the top end to pump eventually, I suppose. So, and some token cards too. So, cool deck. Very, very cool deck. This is probably the least removal I've ever ran, but I'm not too worried about it, and I think we can pretty easily do something like 12-5 because we definitely don't need to play Poet on turn 1, and it's more like 6 with the Surveyor. To be honest, I could probably pretty easily do 11-6 and not really care that much because it's still 12-7 with the Surveyor. We do have some double and triple green, but you would hope that I could get there with 11 forests. And I guess I just want to be able to hit my white. I really should be able to hit my white, though. I mean, with Llanowar Elves, I'm even less concerned about getting to my double and triple green, though. We'll have that easily with Llanowar Elves. I think we're going to do 11-6. I don't think that's a huge deal. I think our mana base is going to be fine with 11 forests. So, here is the deck. Pretty sweet deck. Yeah, looks like fun. So, alright, here it is. We'll run it like this. We'll see you around 1.